Mr. Mystic. Our guest today is a man whose name has become synonymous with a new kind of political consciousness in Nigeria, a movement that disrupted the status quo, energized millions of young people, and redefined electoral engagement. He's a former governor of Anambra State, a former presidential candidate, and one of the most talked about figures in Nigeria's modern political history. His name is Peter Obi, and his followers are called the Obedient. But today the conversation goes deeper, from PDP to Labour Party to the African Democratic Congress, and now to the Nigeria Democratic Congress. His political journey has taken unexpected turns. Supporters call it strategy. Critics, they call it inconsistency. So today we ask the questions Nigerians are asking. Is this evolution or political drift? Is this coalition building or compromise of some sort? And ultimately, can trust survive constant movement from one party to the other? Mr. Peter Obi, the town hall meeting recently for people living with coalition building or compromise of some sort. And ultimately, can trust survive constant movement from one party to the other? Mr. Peter Obi, thank you so much for joining us. We're here to have a very interesting conversation, which a lot of Nigerians online and offline have said it's needed to be had. So you have consistently told Nigerians that leadership must be anchored on discipline, consistency, and accountability. And interestingly enough, my video of interview with you 12 years ago on another TV station has been going viral recently. Those in opposition have been sharing it. On that video, in that interview with you,
listen to it.
Oh yeah, in that video, in an interview with you, you said, "Oh no, I'm here with ABGA and I'm not going anywhere. There's no need to be jumping around." So now you have from ABGA moved to one to one to one. How do you explain what you said you wouldn't do, which you have ended up doing? Let's start from there.
Well, when you asked me that question, you were asking me about leaving ABGA. The question wasn't, will you change party? Or will you ever change party? The question was, are you leaving ABGA? Because at the time, people thought I was leaving ABGA. And I said, no, I don't need to jump from here. That is not necessary. I'm going to leave you with two quotes, and I'm going to add another one. You know, one of the most famous leaders of United Kingdom till today is Churchill. And when he was changing parties, people were, "Oh, you've changed from this person." And his quote and position is, "Some men change parties because of their principles. Some others change their principles for the sake of their party."
So for you,
So for
are
me,
you moving because of principle,
yes,
or because
because
of the existence
no,
of
because of my principle. Because I've been in a system where you can see that it's no longer what you believe in or you want to practice, and I go to elucidate them. But before I elucidate that, I need to also quote Raleigh Odinga. He said, "Party is a vehicle to your destination. And if you find out that the vehicle which you are in is no longer headed to your destination, you have to change the vehicle and follow the one that heads to your destination."
So in essence, NDC will
Let
take
me
you to
give you
your
an example.
destination.
No, it's not just that it's going to take me. People have asked, "You left ABGA." I said one day the stories of why I left different parties will be in the open. I left that guy because I was forced to leave. I left BDP because of my principle. Not say you're going to a destination, but the process of going there have compromised your principle. Okay, the process through which people get to anywhere is far more fundamental than what they do thereafter. You can't just come, instead of coming to this studio by proper investment and everything, you go and hijack somebody's studio and say you're doing well. The new central is the best. No, the process is important. You can't just jump through the window and start being a nice. No, there's a process. So if I find out that the process is faulty, I move. So I left PDP because the process was faulty. I went into Labour, which is open to every Nigerian. We embroidered with litigations, externally induced, supported litigations, unresolved, with crisis on crisis. That was the reason why I left Labour to African Democratic Congress. That was why people like Okonkwo left his own party and we came into this place. And the same unresolved litigations followed us. Same internal problems followed us and everything. In African Democratic Congress, I met first a chairman whom I will respect for the rest of my life, who was exceptional in the way and maturity in which he led the party. So was so many other people. I met so many people whom I have so much respect.
So what do you say?
But
sorry,
then
I have to interject. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What do you say to people who look at your movement from Labour, a party that was virtually non-existent, and then you took it over and you emerged with the Obedient family and built it up, and it became a force to be reckoned with, and you left that to a party that some people said it's made up of strange bedfellows?
Well, Kanye, everybody said nah to me. Let me tell you, you can walk into a garage and buy a new car, and on leaving that garage, that car will have an accident. You cannot say because that an accident, you won't travel again. Anything could have happened to the car and the engine knock.
But this one looks like it's a knocked engine already.
No,
that was ADC.
No. That's
with the quality and caliber of people there.
I'm just telling you.
And characters, well, because they talk about you as being a man of character.
Because people say about Labour and everything. I'm just saying you why I left Labour.
Yeah.
Even in the UK, where everything is safe, I bought a brand new car. It was stolen. In the UK, not even Nigeria. So still, what did I do? I went and reported to the police and continued. So for me, in an issue of ADC and strange bedfellows, for you as a leader, your job is not always to be in a place with people who have the same beliefs as you, the same principles. Your job is also to convert. Remember, Jesus said he didn't come here for those who are good. He came for sinners to convert them. So if you're a leader, you go to everywhere, you also have a job to convert people. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. I'm virtually with my team trying to convert people to say, well, listen, we can't go on this way. This level of corruption, this level of stealing cannot be sustained.
So when you joined ADC and you saw the characters.
I don't
that
know
are
which
there.
character. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I saw some exceptional characters. Maybe there's few which you know them better because I don't go studying people's characters. There may be
No,
there's some
but
few.
as a leader, you will have to understand the character of the people around you.
No, if you're leading, it depends on.
If you're leading, you have to know, because if you,
Kaide
it's
as-
like Jesus saying he didn't
Kaide-
know that
Kaide as
Judas
governor,
Iscariot is a thief.
Kaide-
He
no,
knew it, and he
no.
confirmed it.
Kaide, again, you're right. Kaide, that just like Jesus knew that
He knew that
this person.
Judas Iscariot is a thief, but he knew that there was going to be a value, for a nuisance value for this thief eventually.
Thank
so he
you.
allowed
You
him.
finished
But
it.
you know.
No. Kaide, you've said it all. They also have value. Maybe it's nuisance value. That's it. So you take the good ones, suggest yourself the other ones, and get to where you want to be. Because if you get there, you will now start to change the system.
So the people you have now, do you see that these are like minds, or are you likely to move on again?
Let me tell you, where I am now, there's no litigation. There's no pending case in the court. We studied very well. That is threatening. There's no faction. So nobody is suing us now and saying, oh, I'm the chairman or the vice chairman. I'm supposed to go. There's no faction. The internal system of the party, there's no crisis. The external crisis is manageable. So you could see there's some sense of peace.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. And I'm also begging those who are used to ensuring that the crisis in party, there's endless litigation, including the judiciary, to allow our politics.
All right. Now you have your supporters often say, we're not just following a man, we're following a movement, and the obedience has been described as a movement. But movement needs stability. Do you worry that this frequent shift from one party to the other, PDP, Labour, ADC to NDC now, you probably will lose some of your members of the movement? Do you think there will be
There's no
a
top
loss?
politician in Nigeria that I know today that have not moved at least in 3 parties. Tell me one.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No.
Or
Remember what I
it's a
said?
sign of
What
the
will
kind
make
of
it good or
politics
bad
we play?
is the principle and reasoning behind the movement. Kaide, if I come here tomorrow and this studio is no longer here and it's been moved to another place, what is important is that what is the reason? Are you still operating within the same principles? You're not. If that is it, that's nothing.
Okay, so let me move on to, there's a question that some people have said. They said some people would wonder whether Peter Obi still remains the same with all the movement and junketing from one party to the other. This will be the final look at this issue. But for you, what are your principles? What are the things that you hold dear as a man, as a Christian, as a politician that talks often about character, capacity, and competence? What are the things you hold
just said
dear?
it.
What do you hold dear?
You just said it.
Please say it in your own
Character
words.
is number one.
So what is
A
it
person
about
without
your
a character.
What is it about your character that makes you the kind of person you think should be able to lead Nigeria?
Character is not something you just describe. It's something people see in you.
So what do
People
they see?
One is to be a consistent behavior that people can see is good and decent. You are being involved in doing the right thing. In all this movement, nobody have ever seen that Peter moved from this place to this place because of transaction, personal benefits. It's not transactional. It is not for personal benefit. It is still for the good of the country to get there, to be able to ensure that the right things are done. I've not done it. I've not moved from one place to the other by forging anything, by lying. These are things that shows that somebody is inconsistent. Everywhere I've been from one place to the other, I remained the same. I didn't say, oh, I'm going here, where they say, oh, by presenting maybe a false certificate or telling a lie against somebody or saying somebody did this and this. So you could see the consistency. What do I hold there? For me, I hold there, my brother, about building a better society that will care for everybody, especially the poor.
So how do you do that?
I can only do that if I have opportunity of serving.
So
Every month as a person, people have said, oh, he was doing this when he was in politics. As a human being, I've been to all troubled parts of the world. From Afghanistan to Rwanda to everywhere. I was there when they had crisis. As a governor, I went to President Jonathan and said, I want to go to Haiti. And he asked me, what are you going to Haiti to do? And I said, I'm going to Haiti because they had earthquake, which killed so many people. And that's what I used to do in my life before I became governor. And with his permission, I took the head of Red Cross, a lot of other teams, went to Haiti for days with my son. So when I go, as a person to date, every week, every month, I must visit 2 schools, 2 hospitals. I do it even if I'm abroad. As soon as I travel out of Nigeria, I have to stay 1 week. I must ask the people, is there any local hospital or this we can visit? And even just say.
So these are part of the character of the person that you are. What then qualifies you to be the president of Nigeria? If Nigerians choose to vote for you, what qualifies you?
I don't know what to tell you that qualifies me. I've been a governor of a state. It's left for you to ask those who were in that state when I was the governor. When you talk about leadership, when you talk about people serving this country is headed in the wrong direction. Today, we are only in reference on the negative side. We don't have one reference that's on the good side. Today, we have the highest number of people living in poverty, over 140 million. When APC government came, we are about 80. Today, we are over 140. Today, we are one of the most terrorized countries of the world. When APC came, we are not among 10. Today, we are among the 10 most terrorized countries. Today, we are one of the hungriest countries of the world. People are now donating food for us. Even Ukraine that is at war, we are now one of the hungriest countries of the world. Today, we have one of the highest youth unemployment as small businesses are collapsing. They are being suffocated out. Banks, financial institutions cannot lend money to businesses because government is on a borrowing binge. They just borrow anything. Today, our country's debts have doubled. In 2015, when APC came into government, our total debt was 13 trillion. About that. When Buhari left, it was 87 trillion. Today, it's about 200 trillion, and we are still borrowing. And we were told then that we will remove subsidy so we can stop borrowing to pay subsidy. So subsidy in fuel was removed. Subsidy in electricity was removed. Tax was increased. So for Nigerians, it was not just a double whammy, it was a triple whammy. There's no subsidy in electricity. There's no subsidy in petroleum. Then they were paying higher taxes. More revenues came in. But what happened? The country borrowed more. And in all this, in areas where you measure development, you cannot see anything. The number one measure of development is health. Health is wealth. Over 80% of our primary health care is not functional. We have over 8,000 primary not functional. No doctors, no facilities. You can go and check it. Despite all the billions that was budgeted.
Okay, we'll have to take a break. You're still watching 60 Minutes with Mr. K. And this conversation is not just about one man, it's about the future of political trust in Nigeria. We'll take a short break here. When we return, we'll explore alliances, fractures, and high stakes chessboard of 2027. So please stay with us.
How do we save this country?
You moved from the APC to the PDP.
Dapo, listen, I'm still paying teachers in Ondo State. If Olabode George should be expelled from the party.
It's an existential imbecility, utter nonsense.
Join me, Dapo Adeboye, on Politics HQ.
He invested in critical area of development, education. Development is not measured by tall buildings or by flyovers. They're measured in three things. Health, which is your life expectancy, which Nigeria today is 54, the lowest in the world. Education, our literacy rate is below 60%. When all our other comparable nations, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Philippines, all of them, Egypt, are all above 8. So you could see, these are measures of development. Pulling people out of poverty, you're still home to the highest number of people living in poverty in the world. So he tackled a critical area, education, and had maintained on the need to pull the poor people out of poverty. I believe that two of us will serve the country well.
So would you say it was political expediency when Dr. or Engineer Kwankwaso went to Chatham House and said that he is more qualified than the person that some people were asking that he
Well,
should
you know,
be vice president?
qualification is it's just as a description of it. It's a perspective. It depends on where you're coming from. He said he's more qualified because he has a PhD, which is not bad. He has a PhD, and I don't have a PhD. But today in the country, I would say yes, some experiences more. He's been exposed, minister, in this, in this. There's no doubt about that. So I don't think his claim was wrong. But for what Nigeria needs today, Nigeria needs a wealth creator. It needs a wealth manager. I have built a business from scratch to a reputable business locally and internationally.
So when some
Created
people,
wealth.
when some
I've
people
been in
look at
nobody today in this context, including the president, can claim to have passed through my experience.
So
That's what Nigeria has never had before.
Yeah. Okay, so
And
so
Nigeria
I'm sorry,
needs-
I'm gonna have to
okay.
interject because
Yes.
I am thinking that how do you respond to those who continue to go on social media and say Peter Obi is just a man who is involved in buying and selling, when they say he's just a trader? How do you respond to them?
Trading is one of the most difficult jobs you can do in the world. If it was easy, everybody would be trading and making money. I can tell you that. In terms of education, for example, I've been to the best schools in the world. I've done programs, and I mean programs that took months from London School of Economics to Oxford to Cambridge. These three I call them. I'm not just this, I'm alumnus of all the three. I've been to Harvard, Columbia, Kellogg, INSEAD, IMD in Switzerland. I can go on and on. So, in terms of education, I've passed through schools. But education is not the same thing as creating and doing it. In America, they have more clinical professors than academic professors. I'm clinical in what I'm saying, and I proves it. What Nigeria needs today is somebody that will create wealth, not somebody who shares wealth. What Nigeria needs today is somebody who can manage their resources more efficiently and save for the future. The country with the highest in terms of savings, or you can call investment today, is Norway. What did Norway do? They were saving the same money from oil. Nigeria is the only country in the world that I know. I've been producing oil for years without saving anything from that oil. Everything is just shared like a motor packed up. They just bring it every month and share, and everybody's running around.
Okay.
I'm to prove what I'm saying, go to the businesses I'm involved. It's not only buying and selling. I'm involved in financial institutions. I was involved in manufacturing. I was involved in distribution. I'm not just buying, I was involved in distribution. Go and check in all of them. All of them have been run successfully. And when I transited to politics, where I govern the state, you can go there and see what I'm preaching. I changed When I came to Anambra State, no single school of nursing, school of midwifery was accredited. When I left, over 10 were. When I came to Anambra State, there's no single teaching hospital. Today, there's 3. When I can go on and on. In terms of education, it's there for everybody to see.
You're moving from the lower ranking to number 1 or so.
To date, no state in Nigeria, in sub-Saharan Africa, then it was in Africa because about the number of computers we bought for our state. Go and ask HP, they're still there. No state in Nigeria I put in all our secondary schools, internet, when I was going on. No state in Nigeria have bought buses, 2 buses, because I bought one after 4 years, for their secondary schools. No state in Nigeria, I can go on and tell you what we did just to change the education, because we believed in it. We open up rural areas. These things are not something anybody can say, oh, they're there for people to see. It is the vehicles that are bought that are still there. So you can see it. Above all, people are still thanking me for clearing all the pensions, all the gratuities that people who work for government, who are entitled to it, were supposed to be. Above all, I saved money. That when I left, I had the equivalent of $500 million. Nowhere in sub-Saharan Africa, I'm not talking about Nigeria, has such a thing happened. Nobody asked me to save money, but I think it was something good. If the money I saved, just the dollars alone, is still there today, it would have been.
Thank you for joining. Welcome to the platform.
Today. Imagine a state having that type of money, about 600 billion naira in their coffers. If they put it in fixed deposit at 20%, which you can get today, that's 120 billion naira.
Okay, so let's move to the NDC's decision to zone its presidential ticket to the south. And we're being told, and please correct me if this is wrong.
But the question is, if Mr. Peter Obi did all of this, he was able to save money for his state, did everything I did, and up until now, we are still arguing in Nigeria either to make him the president. I believe that in some other part of the world, they would have been fighting that this man should be the president of the country. I wonder why Nigeria, we are just, why we are where we are today, not seeing beyond our nose and not allowing this man to just, he said he would do 4 years. I mean, I don't know why that should be a problem. Nigeria would rather choose to have a criminal in office than to allow someone like Peter Obi run the country. Now, he has mentioned several things, how he built his own business, or some people said he's a trader. Well, is there anything bad in trading? I mean, there are traders all over the world. He renders services. He's also been in manufacturing and all that. So, and also leaving money back for his own states. Now he just referenced that the boss that he left behind is still what they are using in his own state today. And I wonder why Nigerians, why will not allow this man to just lead the country? And the youth are just confused on what to do. Countries are building AIs. Countries are improving on emerging health. Countries are doing great things for their own people. Why should our country remain like this? I think we should just allow this man to lead the country so that we can enjoy the benefits of what we have in our country. Let's listen some more. Thank you.
That it will be for a single term. And this has been described as a strategic move that strongly favors your ambition. Why would you want to, if that is your decision, why would you want to be a one-term president? If that is your decision, so please help us clarify. Is this what you would want, to be a one-term? And if that is so, why would you want to be a one-term president?
First, that I thank NDC, and I said it yesterday, for inviting me and engineer Rabbi Okonkwo to join their party.
So you were invited.
Yeah, we were invited.
Okay.
And I thank them for the warm reception and the cordial relationship we've had so far. The party leader, Senator Zach Dixon, and the chairman, and all the team have actually, we have a relationship that shows that they mean business. They want things to work. That's what they should be. And I thank them for that. I remember I've thanked the ADC, especially the leadership, for accommodating us at the time. So, on issue of term, it's about stability of the country. I've said it consistently that if I'm the one to suggest, if my opinion, I'm asking, we must have a situation where we have a single tenor, whatever we say, rotating within the Swiss geopolitical zone for stability. Our politics is very unstable. So the idea of rotating north and south is for stability of the country. The idea of allowing to go to different places is for justice, it's for fairness. You cannot have a society develop without unity, without stability, without inclusion. Once there's exclusion, you destroy the place. Germany, when West and East Germany united, the East Germany was very, very poor. The West, in order to foster that unity, took the capital to Berlin. Brought one of theirs to serve. The politics of Nigeria needs inclusion. It needs unity, not disunity. So that rotation is unity.
Okay, but
so somebody has served 8 years. 1 minute. Somebody has served 8 years.
You haven't answered the
question. I'm answering. Somebody has done 8 years.
Would it work for you? Is that what you want?
I can serve even only for 2 years. Reason is very simple. It is not the number of years that makes the difference. Remember, we just talked about Jesus. He died at 30-something years. There's some people who have lived 90 and creating confusion all over the place. But at young age, he was able to do what? Change the world. So it's not how long you live.
Yeah.
You can become a mitigated disaster for living long. We want people to have the impact.
You know that some people will say that Peter Obi is not Jesus.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about Jesus.
Yes. So in terms of what you want,
we are all
do you want a one-term
we are all representatives of Jesus. Most of the celebrated presidents in the world.
Do you want a one-term presidency?
Yes.
I want a one-term presidency.
I can tell you, Kade.
So
what we have now is only 2 years that somebody used to borrow more than all the previous government put together. It's only 2 years that Nigeria have entered into the hungriest country of the world. It's only 2 years, so that shows you a difference 2 years can make. JFK, that's celebrated today, did not stay 4 years.
So
I can start telling you those who didn't.
If you get a chance to be president in 2027, you're saying
I will definitely
happy to do one term, 4 years.
Kade, I will not stay a day with a gun in my head longer than 4 years.
Okay.
So I can even stay less.
Yes.
No, stay less.
Don't commit yourself.
If I'm committing myself, Kade, what Nigeria needs now is a direction.
Yes.
We need to have stability. We need to start. You don't need
let's
get
to the brass tack then. So if you say that you're happy to do 4 years What do you think you can achieve in 4 years? Just give me maybe 3 or 5 or even 2 things that you want to focus on, because there's a pastor.
Kade,
Yes, go on. Just
in
a
6
handful of
months,
things.
a leader can get the country to a state where people follow the rules.
Let me help you set the template
No.
very quickly.
Kade, the
Yeah.
biggest contributor of the Western world GDP today is law and order. Nothing stops a government from day one to say, I'm going to obey court orders. Courts, you must give fair judgment. Courts, you must do this. Things must be done properly. Kade, I will not be in government and one opposition party will be having problem. From day one, I'm going to tell INEC, elections must be free and fair. All elections I participated in, go and ask anybody. I have never given anybody 1 naira to legal election for me. That you can do. Yeah, I did it. Jonathan did it in my second term. It was free and fair. So we can there's things you can do. Let's have order. INEC, regulate all the parties. If you know what the law says, you cannot be involved in their internal affairs, do it. Nothing stops the president from, we have a crisis, invite the opposition leaders, let's sit down and talk about our country. It must not be war.
So that makes it 2 points you've just
I
mentioned.
can go on.
Yes.
So many of them you can do.
There are 2 points. Let me just help you
do.
summarize.
Nothing stops the president from.
Number one is your help to sort out judiciary. Your help to sort out the election system.
First, insecurity head on.
Okay, so
first
insecurity comes
on.
first.
There's no reason why a president of Nigeria can stay in Abuja and 200 people die in Jos or in Naija or in Benue, and you're still sitting here.
So what would you do? What would you do differently? The president from Buhari's era to the Tinubu's era, all the chiefs, service chiefs have been asked to go to the theaters of war, but we have not seen any difference. What would you do differently? You ask them to move the entire army to Borno State or to Benue.
Let me first and foremost.
Where would you ask them to
go?
Let
me tell you, first and foremost, I'll talk all the states. Within 2 years of being president of Nigeria, I will go to visit every state of Nigeria.
And that visit will translate to what?
What are you saying?
No, what would it translate to? I have been to several of the states. What would it translate to? What will be the benefit? I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking for the answers.
Because solutions. If I go there, I will know exactly what is happening.
Okay.
If you tell me things that are wrong, is that I want to call the others there and we'll talk about how we're going to solve it. What are we going to do differently?
So when you revive
agriculture in its trueness, not what we're doing now.
But how do you revive agriculture when insecurity is still affecting them? I'm just coming back from Jos a few days ago.
You deal with insecurity. There's no way a non-state actor can be more or take over the state.
What will your presidency do?
I will not tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not telling you what I'm going to do. Kaede, I've dealt with insecurity in Anambra State. Small. And people will tell you. Just go there. When I came to Anambra State, Kaede.
Will you negotiate with the bandits? Because some state governments
don't worry what I'm
going
to do. I didn't negotiate with anybody. But security is not what you say in public. But I'll deal with it decisively.
Okay.
We cannot share a state, a country, with non-state actors.
Okay.
Something is wrong. One must give in.
So what is the timeline if you...
I won't put a timeline to it, but people will see it. People will feel it. You see, governance is not what you put timeline. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you...
I love projects. I've been a project manager for many years of my life. I love projects. You have to see
I'm
this
not building roads
as a project.
No. When people come and say, I'm going to build this road in 1 year, people saw it when I was in Anambra State. I dealt with it decisively. They felt it. They see it.
Yeah, but you're
So-
going to have only 4 years, so you can't say
4
you
years
don't
is
know
too
how
long.
long it will. Yeah, so okay, so 4 years is too long. So
Too
how many
long.
years are you looking to spend to resolve the
To
issue
deal
of
with issue of
insecurity?
insecurity.
Insecurity.
No, it's not timeline.
Oh, it
It
would
does-
be 4
It
years.
doesn't
Is
have
that 4
timeline.
years? It might
All I
happen
can
in a
tell you
year, in
is
4 years.
Kaide, I've dealt with insecurity.
Okay.
I've dealt with all these things. And it's very easy. It's not record, it's tough, it's difficult, but if you're determined, you deliver it.
Okay, so on the issue of health,
Same thing. Kaide, as a person, I've visited, even in this Abuja, I've visited so many primary health care. Kaide, go and ask people when I was governor. I visited every secondary school, over 500 of them. I visited the facilities. It's simple. If I have opportunity, we cannot say we are budgeting billions of naira for primary health care, and over 85%, we have about 8,300, and over 80% are not functional. God, I'll be visiting them. I'm visiting them today that I'm not anybody. So imagine what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to see them work. I'll visit them. That's why I say, he said, what will I do if God, there's a difference that I said today. I want to go to University of Jos, for example. See where the children are living and going to school. I used to go to secondary school, visit their dormitory, go to their kitchen, go to where they eat, go to where they run the shower, go to their toilet. Because I want to fix it. I have an Almajiri school in Kaduna that I had to do borehole. I had Almajiri school, we did borehole, did their toilet. I went to look at where the children go. And I said, no, that's it. In Sokoto, I was at there, somewhere in Sokoto, somebody said to me, we are students of Faculty of Agriculture. Our biggest problem is that we need a borehole in our farm in this thing. I went to University of Sokoto to do that. Now there are nobody. Then I'll go there and see where they are.
Okay.
By visiting, inspecting it, you know what to do. That's how it happens. When you go to theater of war or where there's issue, you know how to contribute. But if you stay in the comfort of this thing and be sending people, you don't know. Go and ask them in Anambra State, in places where they told me there's a killing, there's criminal issue, I visited physically.
so in 4 years, you will sort out insecurity. In 4 years, you will sort out education. In 4 years, you will sort out
No,
agriculture.
remember what I said.
In
I didn't,
4
I
years,
didn't,
you
no,
sort
no,
out
no,
health.
Kai, no.
What
I
would
said
you,
in
yes.
4 years, people would have seen a measurable improvement towards solving all these problems. Today, we have a Bank of Agriculture that is come up. So lending, it's in Kaduna. All our programs, whether it's Anchor program, whether it doesn't, are all dead. They are not producing anything. God, recently,
So what would be your
let
number
me
one?
let me tell you recently,
Yes.
the government of today donated troughs of rice to the people of the north. Kaide. Trucks of rice. They did it in Niger, in Bida. Kaide.
You personally saw this, or somebody
No, it
sent
was
you
announced.
video?
I saw it in the paper.
Okay.
I didn't see it personally. I must tell you. But they did it in Bida. In Niger State, you can go and Google, is where we have Institute for Rice Production. Kaide. India have moved from importer of rice, as huge as they are, to now the number one producer of rice. They've overtaken China. They now produced about 150 something thousand tons. one bill rice, India. Bangladesh have moved from importer of rice to third producer of rice. They now produce about 60 million tons. So India has 152 million tons. Bangladesh now about 60 million tons of rice. The entire Bangladesh is 148,000, about 148,000 square kilometers. It's a very dense country, and they have over 160 million people living in this tiny place. Yet, they produce 60 million tons of rice. Nigeria barely produce 10% of that quantity of rice. Yet, our two biggest states, Niger at 76.3, Borno at 70.8 put together, is the size of Bangladesh. And their population of the two of them is about 10% of Bangladesh. So they have more space to produce rice. There's something wrong here. You need to fix it very fast.
Okay.
And I'll be decisive.
We'll talk about the solution on how to fix it. As the road to 2027 begins to take shape, the real question is no longer who's running, but what they truly stand for. We'll take another break. When we return, we'll be looking at beyond politics, vision, legacy, and the promise of a new Nigeria. Just stay with us. And now we turn from politics as strategy to politics as responsibility. You once described the 2023 election as deeply flawed and maintained that the system robbed Nigerians of their mandate. What specifically gives you confidence that 2027 will be different, especially with some of the cries and woes and groans of politicians who are supposed to be in opposition, and some of them are saying, remove the current INEC chairman because they feel he's partial. Are you one of them? And do you have any trust in this current administration in terms of election management?
Well, Kade, let me tell you what I'll tell every leader or anybody who finds himself in position of service, including you, Kade, as managing director of this organization, is that whatever you do, remember that you're building the name or the brand which your children will inherit and live with. So if Kade, and that's what has guided me, that whatever I do, I have young ones who are going to live with that name. People will meet my son or my daughter somewhere and say, your father was a thief. Your father was this, your father was that. So, because of that, again, what bothers and what I preach, Kade, what surprises me in Nigeria is that if anybody can tell me that we can use professors to run our election and it will be worse when I was in school, I would have said capital no. But today, what has happened with our electoral body have shown that educational qualification isn't a measure of integrity. What have happened in other areas of governance have sustained that. For me, I wrote the President and next chairman a congratulatory letter, and I mentioned that he must say, remember, you will not be here forever. None of us is going to be in any post forever. What we do while we were there is what we're going to live when we leave.
So in the short time that he's been in office, are you happy with his performance?
For me, he needs to improve.
So are you finding it difficult criticizing him?
No, I don't criticize him because there's not been a general election.
Yeah,
Once
but
there's a general
what
election,
has happened now with
well,
NDC, with ADC,
well,
and
you see,
all the other parties?
you blame everybody. I blame from the government. From the government. Because you cannot completely condemn an action of a minor or somebody who is an agent of a bigger body.
So
what is happening in
an agent
INEC
of the
today? Yes.
president.
What is happening in INEC today?
INEC is an agent of the president?
Yes, completely. Whatever he's doing today, he's acting the script written by the man who employed him. Let me tell you,
So if you were president, would you remove INEC and make it independent completely?
This is comment on INEC by Mr. Peter Obi is a very, very strong one. That Amopiton is acting the script of the current the president. Well, that's how it's always been, that when they appoint someone to be the INEC chairman, they tell them what they want them to do. I mean, we saw what happened with Mahmoud Yakub, right? Mahmoud Yakub came there, did all that he did, and today the country is where it is, and I mean, we are all facing the consequence today. But it's so sad that when only Nigeria, or Nigeria is a place where the president will be the umpire. I mean, we saw what happened in Georgia when Donald Trump told the electoral commissioner in Georgia to look for vote for him. The man told him that if I do that, I am breaking the law. And the man did not do it. But in Nigeria, now INEC chairman and go follow them the rig election. And they be, I mean, this current one now, professor of law, Amokwento. Mahmoud Yakub also na professor. Maurice U na professor. Jega professor. So you have all of them like that as professor, and then the rig election for presidents, rig election for anybody, in as much as it pleases them. But this comment from Mr. Peter have been a very, very strong comment. Said the INEC chairman, they asked the script of the president. Well, make we listen more.
Don't talk about independence. Nothing is independent of the president. It's because that's why
But if you were the president, would you make it truly independent?
I want to give you an example.
Okay.
When Yar'Adua was the president of Nigeria, we in Abga had problem. And I went to him as the president. He called the then INEC chairman and said, I told you I don't want problem. I've told Nigerians that the process which I came into office, I'm not happy with. And I'm willing to fix it. That is the leader. Kade, go and say today, I will never participate knowingly in doing the wrong thing. In our political space, we will not rig election. I want a strong opposition so they can criticize me. Kade, 8 years of being governor, in my first, I had 13 members of House of Assembly from another party. 3 senators from my state, another party. 11 National Assembly members, another party. I work with them.
Okay, so while we're talking about...
So I can do the same thing, not just INEC, judiciary, everybody.
No, let's focus on INEC, because
there's
2027 is
interference,
going to be about INEC.
And if you interfere with it, as one of my own appointees, you go that day.
Okay, so while we're talking about INEC, do you believe that you can put your political future in the hands of this INEC headed by Amokuta?
Not my political future.
It's
The
your
future of Nigeria.
political.
No, no,
It's a
no.
political
You see, that's
future.
where
If
things
you
are
are a
wrong.
candidate,
No, no. Forget
if you're a
about.
candidate,
No.
it's about your candidacy.
It has nothing to do with my candidacy.
No, I want
I'm
it
not.
to
No,
be down to
don't
your
localize it.
candidacy.
I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. Not desperate at all. I've never been found in desperation. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see a society where a child of nobody can be somebody without knowing anybody. Kaide, when me and you went to school, we didn't know anybody. Today, people are coming to me and saying, "Can you help me to get a job?" I'm desperate to see society that work. Kaide, I studied a book which I urge you to, Growing Apart, Indonesia and Nigeria. Had this country. After studying it, I went to the US, sat down with Professor Lewis that wrote the book, discussed the book. After discussing the book, Kade, I traveled to Indonesia, met from Minister of Planning, Minister of Health, Minister of Education, Minister of Small Villages, Minister of Small Businesses, met the Vice President, and the most famous president, Widodo. In our 1 week or so of going there, I went there with 2 people, highest Muslim country in the world. We didn't see one person that was begging. We didn't see people who were feeling a sense of poverty. And when I asked, I didn't see people begging. They told me they're in industry working. Why wouldn't the same thing happen in Nigeria? So when you talk about what am I going to do, how do we get young people in Indonesia today? Small businesses employ over 90% of the workforce because small businesses were supported. The official rate of interest is about 15%. Small businesses get the same thing, about 5 to 6% to support them. We're supporting the young people here. They are out on the street on their own. Nobody cares for them. Nobody asks where they go, how they get the next meal. And that is the crisis you've developed.
So what would you do to help the young people?
They have created wealth. I know how small businesses function. That's why I went to Egypt to study power. That's why I went all over the world to see what they're doing. If you can today invest, somebody said, I'm going to give you power. If I don't give you power, don't do it. In the past 3 years, government has not financed or commissioned any power plant. And they won't do so in 2 years because it takes time. That's why I told you that you don't need, nobody expects you to execute 100% of what you promise. People want to see 100% effort and a move in the right direction.
But some people will say that this government has a move in the right direction. That's what they said.
Show me.
The direction of removing the subsidy. You said you remove the subsidy. They removed the subsidy.
No.
Is that the right direction?
That's not.
Is that the right direction?
Let me answer it now.
Yes.
He said, I'm removing subsidy so we can stop borrowing and use the resources in critical area of development. You came here and said, this food that is on this table, you don't want us to eat this one. Let me take this one. I'm going to give you a better food in the evening. In the evening, we didn't even see you, talk less of food. We have now borrowed more. We now borrowed more.
So what are you going to do?
We have not borrowed more
because we have very limited.
We have not seen any impact.
For us to
so
check.
where is the savings from subsidy? Have we stopped borrowing? That's what you promised.
Okay.
So if, for example, he said today we're not borrowing because we remove subsidy, good. If he says today because we remove subsidy, our primary health care is working.
So what are you going to do about young
we
people?
now have more infant mortality than India. 1.4 billion people, and we are 200, but we're overtaking them in infant mortality. This is now one of the worst places to be born on earth. You can check it, sir.
Okay.
So these are things I want to change.
Okay, so the young people, let's come back to that.
Not just
What are you
young.
going to do? What are you going to do for them?
I'm going to support small businesses. Because young people, that's where they're domiciled. They are the owners of small businesses. Imagine empowering and supporting over 40 million small businesses to even employ one person. You change Nigeria. It's not going to be overnight, but they could see it. They could feel it. I came from the financial institution, so I can direct them on how to support them financially, where government will intervene, what we're going to do. Look at what happened to us with our farmers. Instead of intervening when there was a crisis, we went to import food, killed all the farmers.
Okay, so then what about women? What are you going to do about women?
Oh, I said it every day. I'm going to do affirmative action. As governor, go and check. At the time, I have more women in my cabinet than I have men. My chief of staff was woman, commissioner for education, woman, commissioner for local government, woman. I can go on and on. Critical commissioner for planning, woman. The person in charge of everything, head of service. I can go on and on. So for me, it's a critical. It's even something that we should be ashamed of. Women are 51% of Nigerian population. Call it 50-50. So 50% of your population is not actively participating in governance and the corporate world of your system. You're finished.
Okay, so some critics said that this current government has failed in the area of advancement in technology. What are you going to do differently?
No, they failed in everything. Don't say in the area of this. People are hungry. They say advancement in technology. People don't know where the next meal will come from in this country any longer. I said Ukraine that is at war is donating grain to Nigeria. The entire size of Ukraine is about 600,000 square kilometers. Northern Nigeria is 750 something. So Northern Nigeria is 25% bigger than Ukraine. And that one, they're giving us grain. So they failed in everything. Don't say they failed in this.
Okay, so what would you do with technology? What are you going to do for those young people?
We're in a knowledge economy. Yeah. I just told you that I bought computers for children in school where we have the highest number of computers than any other sub-Saharan Africa, sub-state, sub-national in the whole of Africa. So if you see, they see what people will do when they get there. By what they've done, they said, we measure people by what they do when they have the least local government opportunity, state opportunity. Unfortunately, I live in a country where there's no merit. People don't celebrate what is good. They celebrate the opposite. So if Kaide today, I was the best in MDG, it is not talked about. People don't talk about, oh, he did well in education, or he did well, because I live in a country where we celebrate criminality. We celebrate fantastically corrupt people. We celebrate rascality, bad behavior.
Okay.
So if I come in here with police now and they push you to the wall, then people know I'm a very powerful man.
Okay, let me ask you this question because it's been on my mind since we started this conversation. Yeah. I remember 2016 when Muhammadu Buhari, then General Buhari, was campaigning. I listened to some members of the APC who said that this is a good man. He is an upright man. He is a man who is not going to tolerate nonsense when it comes to corruption. And what we saw was a case of Nigeria was stealing black and blue and stealing blind. Now, some members of your party are saying they're standing by you because you're a man of good character, you're right upstanding, and you have capacity, competence, and all the other things. What is it you're going to say to those who say, "Well, look at what Buhari did. He said he was a good man. He's not corrupt. He would not steal money. Obi says he would not steal money because he's comfortable. He's a millionaire, billionaire." What's going to be the difference? How do you guarantee that members of your team will not be stealing the nation blind again?
Let me tell you, the stealing has nothing to do with being a billionaire or have this. No, I'm not saying so because I have too much money.
No, you're saying you're comfortable, so you're
No,
not
I
going to
have-
steal.
I have
You
a-
as a
I-
person will not
I have
steal.
enough.
Let's assume you will not.
No.
But how do you
I will
secure
not,
and guarantee?
and nobody will steal under me.
How do you
If you-
secure that? How do you guarantee
Listen,
that?
If you, I can guarantee, because I've done it somewhere. Kaide, I've been in charge of the corporate world. I was chairman of bank. I was chairman of so many other companies. I was even chairman of SEC here. You can go and ask them, they're near here. Whether as chairman, whether they paid me anything. They told me they're going to buy me a car, do this. I said, I don't want anything. Go to the bank. I was the only chairman. They didn't buy car. They didn't buy anything for me. Go to Anambra State. In my first 4 years, everything I used was 406. Well, ask anybody.
So how
First
do
4
you
years.
guarantee that money will not be stolen?
It's me who will be managing the money. Okay, all my life I've managed money. I know.
So what do you
It's
say
me
to
who is
those
gonna
people
approve.
who think that
No,
you're
they will not.
micromanaging?
Nobody will steal under
So
me.
if they now think you're micromanaging, how do you think?
It's not micromanaging. It's
yes.
not micromanaging.
Okay.
There's a difference between that. Kaide, I know the cost of this, and the minister comes to me because the minister is not going to do it on his own. It's somewhere you read the memo and approve it. And if you're going to approve it, I'll question the cost. And it will start from me. The cost of governance in Nigeria is outrageous and unacceptable. You cannot do it anywhere in the world. It costs more to keep people in government here than most nations of the world. A president of America cannot invite you for dinner. If he invites you, will pay for the food. Unless there's a state function. But if president of Nigeria said to you today, Kaide, come, I'll give you food, or Prime Minister of Britain, when you come, the same, they will bill him for that food you ate, and he will pay for it. The only difference is you
So
eat in comfort.
would you be billing people to come to the
Well,
villa to eat?
Ask people who came to Oka whether they saw anything. Ask them whether anybody drank a bottle of wine in 8 years. People don't even
So
come.
you are not,
They didn't even come because they said, well, listen, don't need to go and see this man. Even when my friends said, okay, we know we can't drink when we come. Can we come with drink? I told them I'm not running a bar. You can go and drink at the bar and then come with us.
So is that why they call you Peter Obi that does not give shishi?
No. I use money is not meant for what people are using it here for. It's meant for a purpose.
Okay.
Kaide, when I had when I was governor when I was 50, in my last days of my government, I became 50 years old because I started what I consider young in Nigerian listening. Started when I was 42, 43, and I was ending when I was, and 3 institutions that I served was very happy, and they came. One was the bank, and they said in our corporate world, not actually a bank, financial institution, corporate world, we think you don't have a house in your village. We're going to build a house for you. That's what. And I said, what is the cost of the house? They gave it me 120 million naira then of what they want to build. I said, okay, fine. I took them to 3 secondary schools. They're there in Anambra State, one in Colombia, one in my village, one in Abatete. I said, divide it 40 million. I want you to build 3 dormitories for these young ones. By building that, you've built a house for me. It's very important. One other person
And they
came
did?
and said, they did.
They
said
did.
They're there. The buildings
Okay.
are there.
Because we
call the
have to
schools.
wrap up now, I
I
must
can
ask
call
you
the
this
schools.
question.
Some others say they want to give me they want to buy me a watch. Somebody bought me a very nice watch. And I told him, I said, by then I have stopped wearing watch because I can see time. Purpose of watch is for time. So I can see time everywhere, phone everywhere. So there's no need adding another something
Yeah,
that
but
will,
what can be accessory?
no.
You don't want accessory.
No, it's inconveniencing because I'll be looking for too many things. I want to be as free as possible,
Okay.
wear less things in my body. So I said, the watch but it was very expensive. And it was vulnerable. He said, oh, this is that. I said, listen, I have a school, they need a boss. This cost of this watch is for you can buy the boss. It's the school, please buy the boss. You've bought me watch. And he did that. He took his watch back and bought it. Another one said he's going to do a party. We cost the party. He said, I told him how many computers that party will buy. It was about 300 desktop. And I gave it to schools.
Okay. So
because that's what money is meant for.
Okay.
It's not meant for celebration.
Okay. So let me ask you the question on the people living with disability. We had a town hall meeting recently for people living with disability. Inclusiveness means that we really must
everybody.
What are you going to do about them? How many of them should we expect in your government?
Well,
how many disabled would you have as ministers, as special advisors? Where do you want to put
all
them?
of us have disability. What they are doing now, we don't even know. Everybody in Nigeria is disabled.
No, but
no.
To be honest,
I'm going to be
yes.
inclusive. I'm going to bring them to the table.
Yes.
And we start. We're starting from the scratch. We everybody have one form of the problem. So you're going to include everybody. Women, children, everybody. And I'm going to do that.
So what are you going to do for people living with disability? Do you have anything specifically you would want to do for them?
I need to listen to them. Governance is about listening. A leader must listen and want the I never worked in government when I became governor. Yet today I'm celebrated. I go to the people. That's why I said I'll do a tour. I want to go to Jos, for example, spend 2 days, listen to the leaders and why we have this problem there.
When are you going to do that? When you get into office? When are you going to have 4 years?
No, you have enough time. Where is your president today? He's spending 2 weeks outside. The same 2 weeks can be spent 3 days in job. Okay. 3 weeks. He goes out for 3 weeks. Assuming he's going to states, he cannot stay more than 7 states, 3 days. Your president traveled out of 365 days, 192 days. 192 days divided by 3. 3 days. How many is it? Just use 180. Let's say half of the year. Say half, 180 days. Divide 3 is 50. How many states do we have? 36. You have more than enough time.
More than enough time.
More than enough time. I thought all local governments.
Okay. All right. Mr. Peter Obi, it's been great having conversation with you. Thank you for your time. There will still be more opportunity to engage with you. You have stated that you're happy with being a one-term president.
4 years is enough.
4 years is enough.
To show a direction of good governance. It's very important.
And you're confident
to bring stability in the system.
You're confident that you have chosen the right person to be your vice president.
Well, to be a team
member.
You see, when people talk about vice president, ministers, remember the Constitution said a minister shall represent a state. They are part of the team. Is this mentality of I'm president, he's vice, he's a minister? No. As governor, we were a team. That's why me and my people remain like this today. Nobody was behaving as if I'm the governor. You should come and see me. No, my doors are open. For every commissioner, it will be open. If I'm president today, it will be open to you. Because I want to listen to you. I want to listen to these young people and know what they want. The job of a leader is learning and listening. Because if you listen, you do the right thing.
All right. On that note, we must say thank you once again for the time you spent with us. I will definitely be knocking on your door to hear you. Yes. And to you, our viewers, thank you for spending this hour with us. Until next time, keep asking the hard questions, keep seeking the truth, and keep believing in the possibility of a better Nigeria. I am Mr. K. Kaide Akintemi is my name, and as always, I leave you with this message. You are a Nigerian, so that makes you the person that occupies the office of the citizen of Nigeria. That is their highest office in the land, senior to the president or the vice president or any other office, because you are the one that would elect them. Take advantage of that office, use it judiciously and use it well. Make sure you go out and vote. Make sure you do everything to defend your vote when the election comes, and be an active citizen that will not give up on this Nigeria. Thank you, and stay safe and stay engaged.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Peter Obi's interview. Let's see. Kenneth Okonkwo is still crying around. Let's see what he has to
Let's look
say
at the state
here
of the
on
race,
Arise
everyone.
TV.
Take a look at this picture. And this snapshot gives you an understanding of the intensity of the race, the caliber of people, perhaps going to be one of the most intense race that we have seen in our political history, especially in the Fourth Republic. Look at some of the faces that might be on the ballot. For now, these are the names that we know. For sure, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC forms filled, and we've seen all of the activities around his nomination forms. Atiku Abubakar filled the form, submitted it. Rotimi Amechi has done the same thing. Some of the new entrants include the likes of Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, the likes of Mr. Ayatuddin, the SDP presidential candidate, Mr. Adewale Adebayo, a lawyer, and also Peter Obi, former 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, now in the NDC, and Mr. Ayatuddin, of course, of ADC, formerly of the PDP. Sandy Ono and Seyi Makinde on one hand, in PDP and APM, an alliance that they're trying to form. Sandy Ono of the PDP. And these are some of the names that we do know. And it's going to be perhaps one, oh my dear, a race that you need to look out for. If you thought that 2023 race was intense, when you saw Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Robbie Okonkwo, you now see a multiplicity or more people on the ballot this time around. The possibility of having Bola Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi on the ballot, or probably a Seyi Makinde on the ballot is now very high. It means one thing. You might see Bola Tinubu and Shetima, Atiku and Amechi or Atiku, whichever be the case, or Amechi or Tambuwal, whichever the case may be, and SDP, Oluwole, Peter Obi and Kwankwanso possibility, Ayatollah if possible, and Seyi Makinde with Bala Mohammed. They say these are the names that have come up, but how intense will these races be? Let me speak with one of ADC chieftain and a lawyer. He was a spokesperson to the Labour Party presidential campaign council last time around in 2023. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo is our guest tonight in this first phase of the program. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you very much, and thank you, viewers.
Appreciate it.
For joining us.
So, we saw more activities in your party, the ADC, today.
Sure.
Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, a lot of people that thought that those people will pair since the exit of Peter Obi.
Oh, well, thank you for pointing out that there are more activities in ADC than in any other political party. That's because it's reflective of our position. We are the coalition of all the opposition leaders. And having coalesced, it is very straightforward what will happen in 2027. Welcome to the regime of ADC in Nigeria by 2027. You could see that you had North, you had the South, you had everybody assembling and backing up the ADC. That is what is going to happen in 2027. That's what we saw today.
The NDC had fundamentally zoned to the south and made it clear. And there are those who say that it clearly pushing or looking like a Peter Obi to clinch the ticket of the NDC. But in your political party, does that look like a policy that you might adopt? Try to cede the ticket to a region of the country?
Well, I can tell you categorically. In 2023, when it was obvious that the North had done 8 years, none of the parties zoned. None. And now Tinubu had done 4 years. People are now talking about South. Do you know what that means? The last time somebody did 8 years in Nigeria was Olusegun Obasanjo from Southwest. Now Tinubu is in power and has done 4 years. And people are talking about 8-year arrangement. That's hypocritical. Does it mean that it's only when it is Southwest that is in power that you remember to do the 8-year? Some people raise the argument when we say that the North has already had it for 10 years and the South for 18 years. Some people raise the argument, no, this thing started 1960. Let us check the leadership structure. And I ask, when Goodluck Jonathan was in power, was he a Northerner? When they stopped him from doing 8 years, were they trying to stop the South or the North from bridging the gap that the North has over the South? Hypocrisy. Tinubu cut off the regime of Goodluck Jonathan and he did not do 8 years. And now Tinubu is telling you that he should be allowed to do 8 years on the formula of 8-year structure. That is fraudulent. As far as I am concerned, in 2027, I told Nigerians that any party that is telling you that zoning to the South is working for Tinubu, and when they doubted me, immediately PDP said they have zoned to the South. People came from PDP and say, sorry, it is to Tinubu. We are not going to bring out a presidential candidate. And now you said NDC has zoned to the South. Recall that NDC, they are mere renegades from ADC. And the reason they went there is because they are scared of participating in primary elections.
Who are those renegades?
NDC.
I mean, is it fair to refer to those who are who legitimately, who constitutionally decided to pitch their tent in with a certain group? Then the Constitution guaranteed them the freedom of alliances, of grouping, of membership, of association. Why would you call them a renegade? Who exactly is a renegade to you based on their action in that party?
Okay. And maybe I was even too lenient. Maybe let me say they are political con men.
Who exactly are you talking about?
Okay. Let's look at it this way. They came into the coalition.
Who are they?
On their own.
Who are they?
I am talking about Peter Obi and Kwakwanso. They came into the coalition on their own. And they said coalition is the best and the only method to send Tinubu packing, by their own words. And on their own, without any reason, they left for NDC. Is that not being a con man? But
don't they have the right to change their mind? Don't you change your mind as a human being?
Very good.
So is it a crime now to change one's mind if you see that your association is fraught and is not aligning with your purpose?
And you didn't know that such association is not aligning before you entered, and you didn't have any reason for going except that you want power. Let me put it this way. And why did I use the word con man? Let's talk about Peter Obi, for instance. In 2019, Peter Obi was the vice presidential candidate of Atiku Abubakar. The Constitution in section 142 said the vice president is an associate of the president. An associate means you are joined with, aligned with, connected with somebody. And Peter Obi was the chief spokesperson, the master strategist, the campaign officer for the South, for Atiku Abubakar. Peter Obi was the one who led Atiku Abubakar into the campaign in 2019. Then from nowhere.
Nigerians, Kenneth Okonkwo is still crying all around. Well, all that we can say right now is that, well, it's a prayer. May you not sign up for a job that you will not be able to say no to, because this one, Kenneth Okonkwo, has entered into trouble. He has signed up for a job that he must do. making sure that he promotes Atiku by all means necessary. Because I don't understand why he's still foaming against Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. Obi has left ADC. Why are you still here crying like a baby? Move on with your life and keep moving. Stop this cry. Let's listen some more.
In 2027, after Atiku had brought you out to national politics, you are now creating the impression with your toxic followers that Atiku is not qualified to be president, that Atiku is this and that.
Peter Obi has toxic followers.
Very, very street urchins.
You are one of them.
I was. Why did I leave? I told you that in 2023, before I even came into the campaign, I had never sat down with Peter Obi to discuss. And I read up about him. I read up about Atiku Abubakar. I wanted somebody from the Southeast to be president. And of course, I campaigned, and I believe we won that election. After winning the election, what happened? He could not secure his own victory. And that was when I knew that I had problem with this person. I spent 240 days about that in a court. I spent almost 2 years campaigning. And after, we believed that we won. And you could not make any sacrifice to secure your own winning. And let me say one thing.
Is that fair to say he did not make any sacrifice?
What did
he
he
paid
make?
Lawyers. He went around saying he won that election. What else do you want him to do?
He went around saying he won that election. Let me ask you one question. What is his path to victory in 2027? I will give you an example. There was a one man, an incumbent president from the South. He contested an election. He won all the election in Southeast. He won all the election in South-South. He won substantially, made almost 25% in the whole of Southwest, and won almost 25% in the whole of Northern region. Yet, he lost the election. And he had the army, the police, the Navy, and the Air Force in his power. And yet, he lost the election. I'm talking about Goodluck Jonathan. And you, Peter Obi, without the army, without the police, without the Air Force, without the Navy, without any power, you want to face an incumbent, Tinubu, that has vowed to snatch power, to grab it, and to run away with it. He did it to you in 2023. You did nothing. And now he's an incumbent. You think you can go alone and win a Tinubu? You must be a joker. And that's why I said that is con job.
What makes you think this is your illusion?
Yes.
And this is your...
It's not an illusion.
No.
It's a fact.
When you
it happened to Goodluck Jonathan, an incumbent from South.
The way you describe Bola Tinubu and all of that is... stating that, what makes you then think that Atiku or any other person can do the same if Peter Obi cannot do it?
Very good.
You think Peter Obi is unfit to match Bola Tinubu, right? That's what you think?
Absolutely.
So you think Atiku can match Bola Tinubu?
Remember what I said in your studio one time. I said if the opposition cannot come together to act as one, they should as well go and endorse Tinubu. I said it here.
Is that what is going on right now?
No, what is going on is that a coalition has already been formed. So whoever goes out of the coalition alone does nothing to the coalition. And
you don't think that the coalition has now been lightened? The weight has been, is more or less feathered weight with Peter Obi exiting Akwa. So that's almost a 2 million vote on the face value that is gone. Peter Obi almost 7 million votes as at the last count that is gone. You're talking about 8 million votes in two personalities that gone away from the coalition you are mentioning.
What you're talking about is rehashing 2023. I'm talking about 2027.
In political science, history and patterns are very key.
Let me tell you the consequences of what you're saying and why the South-South and Southeast is going to vote differently. From 2015, when Goodluck Jonathan lost the election because of the South-South-Southeast, they have been marginalized by the successive presidents because they did not align with them. In 2027, the South-South and the Southeast will align with the coalition party, with the North. And when they align, they will win Tinubu. And if they win Tinubu, all their marginalization will come to an end. Remember, in ADC, we are going to allow everybody to contest. And whoever wins, the whole coalition will support the person. History has shown that any party that does that, by any time, they win election. They did it in 2015. They did it in 2023. And they are going to do it in 2027. But here is the catch. And I'm trying to tell you why Peter Obi will lose the entire Southeast. Have you not heard of the slogan, Obi or nothing? First of all, that slogan is an abomination culturally in Igbo land. In Igbo land, there is something we call Somadina. Somadina means that I will not be the only person that will thrive. I will not be the only person that will succeed. I will not be the only person that will live. And now, P2B or nothing. Let me take you back to 1979. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe ran under a MPP. And Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe knew that the votes of Ndi Igbo alone will not make him president. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe had a brother, Alex Ekweme. He was running under MPN. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was very respectful of him. He did not tell Ekweme to leave MPN. At the end of the day, what happened? MPN won the election, and an Igbo man was vice president. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the NPP leader, he still did not have any problem with MPN. He joined MPN and aligned with MPN. And Ndi Igbo produced also the Speaker of the House of Representatives, having lost an election at the federal level. We produced our governors, and because of the alignment, we produced the vice president, and because of the alignment, we also produced the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And this we did 9 years after the war. And somebody here is telling me, Obi or nothing? That is an abomination in Igbo land.
Why is this diatribe against Peter Obi so strong in you? What did Peter Obi do? Is there a personal difference you have with him? Did he offend you?
Thank you for this question. I am telling you that anybody that wants to preside over me as president in Nigeria must be interrogated. I've not even said anything against Peter Obi compared to what I said against the other presidential candidate in 2023. Let me tell you, I have no personal grudges against anybody in my life. I am a man in search of the soul of Nigeria. I am going to get it in my lifetime. A good president will restore this country, will restore the Igbo people, the marginalization of Igbo people will go. And any human being from Igbo land that wants to destroy the destiny of Igbo because of your selfishness, I will come after you and make sure that you don't block Igbo from getting what they get, what they should get. Let me also take you to 1999. In 1999, the people of the Southwest, they said it is their turn because of what happened with MKO Abiola. And you know what? They gave it as a condition that all the political parties must present somebody from the Southwest. Let me ask, if there are no Southwest people in all the political parties, would they be able to achieve that? Olufalaye and Olusegun Obasanjo eventually emerged as the presidential candidate of all the parties that were available. Now, if you come to Igbo land and you're saying it's one person or nothing, so whatever happens to that one person, Ndi Igbo will be wiped out for that particular election cycle. In 1999, only Yoruba people contested for the presidency. I am looking forward to a time where only Ndi Igbo will contest for the presidency of Nigeria. It has happened before. We are the only people in the South that has not produced the president. They must allow us to produce the president. Let me challenge the APC. If the APC today zones this ticket to Southeast, because when they talk about zoning, it is a way to deny Ndi Igbo of what is their own turn. If APC zones this ticket to Southeast, just like Atiku Abubakar said in 2023, Atiku Abubakar said, if you zone this ticket to Southeast PDP, I will not contest. If APC zones it to Southeast, I will tell ADC to zone it immediately to Southeast. And if they don't, I'll campaign for APC.
This man, the fumo, now only God know go help him. Why are you fuming this way? Man, Kenneth Okonkwo is something else. Fuming this way against your own brother. Very, very sad. Very, very sad.
Take my word for it.
So you are basically an ethnic-oriented person.
Thank you for that question.
He just wanted your man from your clan
Yes.
For an Igbo man to be president, that's your grouse.
Thank you very much for that question. Because if you vote for Tinubu again in 2023, the Southwest will have it for 16 years. And they've had vice president for 8 years. And Igbo has not had it at all. No vice president, no president. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It has something to do with justice. And I am telling you that the only reason I'm saying there should be alignment is exactly what Tinubu did. Tinubu did not recognize that Jonathan has not done 8 years. He aligned with the North and defeated Jonathan so that he could create the avenue for him to come back and become president. That is what I am doing. I am going to make all the necessary alignment to make sure that somebody from the Southeast becomes president or vice in 2027 and become president thereafter. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. I fought for Yaradua. When Yaradua died, I wrote an article why Jonathan should not run in 2011 for the North to complete their 8 years. Nobody heard me. The article is there. It was published in Sun. It was published in Lawmaker.
That same Jonathan,
when Jonathan came in, I said
Jonathan
Jonathan should be allowed to finish his 8 years so that you don't correct a mistake with another mistake. They did not listen to me. They cut off Goodluck Jonathan's time. And now Tinubu is coming. And you're telling me 8-year arrangement is unacceptable to me.
The same Jonathan is probably going to be on the ballot too, because we're hearing that, that there are possibility of him being on the ballot. But
yes,
the crucial question here is that you look at the ADC as it's currently formed, and one would imagine that the promises that we have heard from the leaders who have joined the coalition is that they are going to stick, no matter who becomes the candidate, they are going to stick together.
Yes.
But you're not sticking together right now. And there are those who say that the easier Tinubu's pathway to victory is now surer than it was a month ago.
Thank you for that. And that's why I say P2B and Okonkwo are working for Tinubu. Because what you said is absolutely correct. Whoever walks away from the coalition is working for Tinubu. I think I saw Shekaro saying that Okonkwo and himself, they are working for Tinubu. He made that an open declaration. And I agree with him.
And I was going to ask you earlier that Goodluck Jonathan coming into the fray, has it changed anything? Has it made things more complex?
Well, if he comes in, he makes things more complex for Tinubu. Bless his soul, let him come in. But
how does it make it complex for Tinubu? Why not for Atiku? Why not for Peter Obi? Why not for Kwankwaso or
the only votes he's going to reduce is that of Tinubu. He cannot reduce our votes. The people that believe that Tinubu should not be there for second term will vote for the coalition. They will not vote for anybody else. Then if anybody would have voted for Tinubu, they are the people that can vote for any other person else. But you know what? I think Goodluck Jonathan eventually may not run. He is enjoying his peace now, being regarded as one of the most respected leaders in Africa. It is still the same team of people that made him to be the most cursed president in 2015 because they wanted power. They dubbed him clueless. They dubbed him hopeless. And today, they are still now the ones that are more clueless than himself. And so he's enjoying his retirement in peace as one of the most respected leaders in Africa.
But I mean, would that illusion be right, considering the economic state of things in Nigeria today? Would you say that this government is clueless? Are you right in your assertion when you say this government is clueless economic-wise? Because let's say the policies, if we have not taken some of those steps, it have been a disastrous run for us as a people.
So you do not understand that this government is a con government.
You used that word on your fellow ADC members earlier.
No, the ones that left ADC, sorry, they are not fully ADC, they are NDC. They are working for Tinubu in NDC. NDC is Tinubu's party. So they've joined all.
Kenneth Okonkwo, I bet you are the one working for Tinubu. Ah, wow, this guy is just shameless. Kenneth Okonkwo, you are so shameless. It is so sad that you are doing this. Well, it's just because of how Nigeria is, that's why you are able to do this. If it was in a sane country, men like you would not even have any ground. So shameful. You lack moral. Man, so sad.
In
How
the
is
corn
NDC to
business.
move about it? That's Seriake
Yes.
Dixon is
Which question would you want me to answer?
the
Because I'm
one
ready to
relating
answer
to
all.
the ones relating to the economy.
Good.
And what this government has
The
done.
World Bank said that 40% of the revenue accruable to Nigeria that ought to come into the budget system does not make it to the budget system. What does that mean? Nigeria is being conned. Almost 50% of their revenue. 3 budgets are being administered at the same time. This is illegal. This is unconstitutional. What is that? That is a con job because even the National Assembly does not even know the one they are oversighting. 2025, 2026, the National Assembly openly admitted that capital budget is not financed. Meanwhile, all the money necessary to be borrowed in order to finance this budget was over-borrowed. So you are here. A government is conning you, as in con men, and it is obvious. Why do you think our men are being killed in the field? They don't have the necessary equipment to fight, no night vision equipment to fight, because no necessary budget is made for them.
All right.
People die every day in Plateau, including today, after President Tinubu has promised that it will never happen again. Do you believe a man who said, don't vote for me if I do not give you power? And he still contested. What is he contesting to do?
Mr.
He
Okonkwo.
said in Kigali that the youth will vote you out if you do not listen to them. And he has already been voted out by himself.
All right.
Because he said, don't vote for me
Mr. Kenneth
if I
Okonkwo.
do not perform.
Well, the campaign period is almost here, and we'll have opportunity to scrutinize more policy. Thank you so much indeed, as always. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.
Well, that's our show for
Well, Kenneth is working for his money, and like Nigerians know that Kenneth Okonkwo is an actor, so he's basically acting the script. But I just saw now on Instagram that lawyer Sam Amadi has made a release on his X handle about what happened today in court. He just made a release not quite long about what really happened today in court, how the guy disgraced himself. So maybe I can just bring that tweet over here, and we can just probably let's see the tweet. Hopefully we can see the tweet from Amadi. Let's just see here what Amadi has to say. Let's see. Let's remove this and let's share this. Just one moment, guys. And so here's a tweet from Sam Amadi about what happened today in court with Justice Crack. I was the counsel retained by the wife and later confirmed by Justice Crack. I am the one dealing with DSS and visiting him in detention. On the day of his arraignment, I was engaged in a different activity outside court. When Peter for Nigerian notified me he would be arraigned, I rushed to the court. I was not robed. I asked 2 lawyers to represent me while I rushed back to dress for the court. A very senior lawyer agreed to appear with Femi for his own defense while I rushed and got ready for court. While on my way, he was arraigned. I was told Marshall pushed the senior lawyer outside. I am sure the guy later called me to say he left the team. DSS invited me that day about the case, and was informed the matter was adjourned and Marshal had filed a motion. I spoke with the justice and the director of investigation, who assured me of all cooperation for justice's wife and child to visit him. This promise was fulfilled. The next day, I asked for a copy of the bill, but no one had any. I was told Marshal took all the copies. I asked them to tell Marshal to send me the bail application. He could not until I traveled out of the country for board meeting. I returned last night and later told I got to hear the story of the ugly drama in court that led to withdrawal of the bail application. Well, justice will be granted bail. The delay is unnecessary and unfortunate, but the most important thing is the criminal trial. Hopefully by Monday, Femi will move the bail application he filed. Justice will be granted bail, and we get back to the trial. So that is from Sam Amadi on what transpired in court today, and what happened with Justice Crack. So let's wait and see. Hopefully, all of these things will be resolved, and then justice will get trial. Now let's continue to other videos. Maybe we should not bring that one yet. Let's play this one. Let's see, maybe this one.
So there is no need to talk about anything. The thing where we are the thing, as Marshal come, Marshal stood up in court and said because he was not allowed to lead, he's withdrawing the bail application. Justice should be taken back. Now Marshal now him do waiting happen. No be DSS. No be DSS. No be DSS. Nothing concern DSS. When they said the lawyers know.
So, we came for the bail hearing of Justice Chidebere Mark, also known as Justice Crack. Yeah, it's so weird. I've never been this speechless. I don't think it's speechless. I think surprise is the word. I've never been this surprised. I actually came late, so I stayed outside. The DSS enforcement here was so strong, they said people could not go in. So I said no problem. In fact, the little altercation we had was when they prevented a blind man that had a case from going in. So I said we are not interested in going in. If one of us is there, let the blind man just go in. You get. At the end of the day, we're able to resolve all that. Only for us to see our people come outside and say that he wasn't granted bail. And the reason is because the lawyer, Barrister Marshal, who filed for the bail application, withdrew the application. You know, even the judge, according to what they said, was surprised. He asked the lawyer, you are withdrawing all this, like we should send him back because you won't be the lead counsel. Mind you, the person who is actually Justice Lisa, justice lawyer is senior to him in the bar, you know, and he's been, you know, also active in the case. That person was supposed to be the lead counsel from day one, but Marshal first introduced, and because they didn't want altercation in courts, you know, they allowed him. They all jointly applied for the bail. The bail application. In fact, to call the long story, I'm so shocked, I'm short of words. To call the long story short, in front of everybody, judge, yes, everybody, he withdrew. Marshal withdrew because he's not lead counsel. I've never seen anything like this. A human rights lawyer, you withdrew the bail. Like no matter your grievances, you've been lead lawyer in various cases. Marshal acted in his own. Does Marshal not have his own sense? Does he not know the effort we've put in? Yes. So don't tag it. Nobody's influencing anybody to do anything. You did it. It's on record that Marshal Abubakar sent him back to prison today. That's all. Because you would not allow your ego doubts. You could even allow it flow for the judge, Abdul Malik, that everybody does not like. That they've tagged an APC judge to ask you again, you are doing this? It's just like the devil being shocked at what you are doing. That's what happened inside the courts. I'm here, I can't even shout, I can't even cry. At this point, I think justice should stay in that detention for the full 26 days. There's no need. We've been coming here every day, we've been putting effort. Even when he traveled, we needed the papers application that he did. We were asking for it. He was tossing us around. We had to go and get CTC from the court. We had to work without him because you fight for it. You should be here. But you traveled. Okay, no problem. We have to find a way around to get this date to date Thursday. And now you come from travel because you will not lead. You drag the rug from our feet. I'm not angry with him. I'm not angry with him.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Peter Aka, Peter for Nigeria. What happened in court today, as unfortunate as it is, it only goes to show us that we have a lot of work to do. Not every person who criticizes a bad government is interested in a better country. Some people only traffic as long as the system is bad because it puts them in business. Let it be very clear. I have been with Justice throughout this issue. Justice's lawyer, Justice Crack lawyer, is Professor Sam Amadi. When he came to court on Monday, he had another engagement and he was not robed because we got information that he would be arraigned that morning. So he was not robed, but he was in court. So since he was not robed, he had to call another lawyer, Barrister Clement, to stand in for justice with Barrister Femi Balogun. Both of them are also senior to Barrister Marshall. Marshall came into the court and said he will be a part of it. By the time they got into court, Marshall said he wanted to lead. Barrister Clement said, I am the lead counsel. I took instruction from Professor Sam to stand. He said no, that he wanted to lead. And Barrister Clement and Femi said because they didn't want to cause issue, the judge was already asking what is going on. They stood down and said he should lead, but they appeared as co-counsels for justice. When they finished, they said put up a bail application. They came out together. Barrister Femi called the wife. We went to bring her. They did a deposition. They did the bail application together, Marshall and Femi. Marshall put his name on the application and filed and submitted. And nobody thought there was any, mischievous intent because, of course, they were working together. Now, prior to now, the bail application kept stalling throughout last week. Femi had to write a reminder to the judge, pleading that the date should please be given. With all the work we did throughout last week, we kept coming to court. There is a lot that we have not been talking on this case because I don't want to join issues. I know all that is going on social media. Whatever that happens, we got a date and it was fixed for today, Thursday. And then Marshall came to court. And the judge, her Lordship Justice Abdul Malik said, who is the lead counsel so that you can mention and then mention the other people who are appearing. Barrister Femi Balogun stood up and introduced himself. Marshall said no, he must introduce himself as the lead counsel. The judge asked Justice, said, okay, who should lead? He said Femi can lead, that they are working together. Marshall said no. He took exception to it and told the judge that if he's not going to lead the defense of justice, he wants to withdraw the bail application because he took his own name. The judge looked at him and said, you want to withdraw everything you have filed on behalf? The judge was shocked at the action today in court. Marshall said everything should be taken out. And then in fact, the judge wanted to even she said that out of my mercy that I'm going to allow you to come back. She actually cautioned justice on the kind of counsels that represented him. She made certain statements I don't want to say because I don't want to join issues. The judge said that I want to give you a near date. You should be brought back tomorrow, but by tomorrow they can't do service to DSS and all other parties. So she said 48 hours, which will be by Saturday. But by the next sitting day, which is Monday, please, he should be brought back to court so that she can hear his bail and commence trial. And then she said other things, which of course we'll know by next week. So that was what happened, and then we walked out. So Shawari and everybody was trying to talk to Marshall, and his words and statement to everybody. He pushed justice, pushed the wife away, and said that it is his. He said that it is his bail application. It is not our document. Meanwhile, since when he filed that bail last week Monday, everybody has been trying to get a copy of that bail application because we wanted to ensure we fast track it. But Mr. Marshall, make it available to us. Please make it available to us. Professor Sam called. He won't take. He refused to release that document to us. We now had to write a second letter. But because there was already a bail application, we had to just file for the CTC. But there is nothing bad in it. Justice Crack is not a criminal. He's with the DSS. He will come out. He will come out stronger and better than he went there. In a country where they are doing repentant terrorist operation, safe corridor, my brother did not do anything wrong. Whatever that are the forces that are standing here, it only shows us that when he comes out, we have more work to do to help our country. So we are not discouraged. I'm not fighting with anybody. But on Monday, we will continue to push and ensure that you will not crack justice. He will be released to his family and he will come back to do what he does.
That the citizens cannot hold their leaders accountable. It's tantamount to
no, it is a complete. It's worse than a zoo. But unfortunately, that is all that played out in court. Justice, as you saw, has been taken back by the DSS to their custody. So hopefully by Monday. So we are filing now. We are filing a fresh application. His lawyer, Barrister Femi, Professor Sam, they are filing a application from themselves for Monday.
Add to what he said. Today, that is a surprise to me. There is nothing surprising about what happened in court today. You see, I made this statement prior to this time that this Marshal Abubakar's alliance with Very Dark Man is a disastrous one. And of course, Nigerians have come to see that all the things I said are coming to play. So this guy, while we were, the very day we were protesting that Justice Crack be released, Very Dark Man went to the military to receive an award from the military. The same people that abducted Justice Crack, the same people that kidnapped Justice Crack. Yes. While Nigerians were protesting that what the military did was wrong, Very Dark Man went to receive an award from them. While we were processing Justice Crack's bail application, Marshal Abubakar and Very Dark Man traveled to Turkey. The very day we were processing this bail application, we discovered that the bail application was removed from the file that was pushed to the judge. Who removed it? Your guess is as good as mine. Now, we also tried to make everything we did everything, and the judge slated today for the bail hearing. Now, in the court today, Marshal Abubakar appeared and withdrew his bail application. He withdrew the bail application, asking the DSS to keep holding Justice Crack. So, Nigerians, have you now confirmed the things that I've been telling you, that Very Dark Man is a tool to this, our oppressors, that Very Dark Man is a tool of our collective oppressors in this country? They have truly proven it today. Marshal Abubakar has proven today that what Nigerians have been suspecting is the truth. So Nigerians, you people have seen what Marshal Abubakar and Very Dark Man did to Justice Crack. They are the ones holding Justice Crack today. It is no longer the SS that is holding Justice Crack as long as I am concerned today. It is Very Dark Man and his lawyer, Marshal Abubakar, who appeared in court and withdrew his bail application. So thank you, Nigerians.
Can you please brief us on what happened in court today and how what has happened after?
Okay, so today was for the hearing of Justice Max Chidibere's bail application. And when the case was called up, two lawyers stood up to try to announce appearance, and the first person who attempted to do that was the person who led as a last date, and the court asked the defendant in open court that who do you want to lead? He said, you have two lawyers, right? He said, yes, you have two lawyers. He said, who do you want to lead? So he now called the second person who was led as at the last adjourned date by the first. And it was on this basis that the person who led as at the last adjourned date, whose application and subsequently all processes filed by him were struck out. So on that basis, it means that in the file, there's nothing in the file as at today anymore for the court to act upon. And it was on that basis that my Lord graciously granted a short adjournment for another bail application to be filed by the and it's a sad incident anyway, very, very sad incident. Yeah, but that's it. So we're coming back here on Monday, hopefully, to move the bail application, or like my Lord rightly said, that if the prosecution is not ready on Monday, it means that the matter shouldn't have been filed in the first place, so it will be consequentially struck out.
Going to eat. After eating, they jammed his phone. The DSS accosted him and said, "Want to talk?" He said, "Okay, let's talk. I'm a citizen. I have nothing to hide." And suddenly they all emerged with guns cocked and menacing, hooded him, covered him in the hood, and dumped him and took him. And for days, handcuffed, brought in the sun, hooded completely, with eyes, nose, everywhere blocked. Fellow citizens, this press conference is precisely The military hierarchy, the leaders who are insulated from this suffering should know. And all these people here are committed to help the soldiers in the front line win this war against terror and win it decisively. Yes. Like I said, 13, 40 years ago, I went over all the military barracks in this country. Chidebere, with the DSS officials, since Sunday evening, I've been there twice and I've had discussions. Of course, before that, I've met with the wife a couple of days ago when his whereabouts were not known. I made this press statement to clarify some mischievous statements by some persons that the Nigerian army has amplified to push falsehood. First, I've been involved with the military. I've worked with government, special advisor, Senate President, special advisor, Foreign Affairs, chief executive of one of the leading parastatals. I have conducted training for the Nigerian military. I've conducted training for the DSS Institute. I've been a lecturer for the guest course. I've been a lecturer for the Nigerian.
Well, guys, this is Sam Amadi's video, the press conference that he made before today's event. This one has been made since last week, I guess. Just giving some statement about how Justice Crack was kidnapped and how that he met with the wife and they did all that. But the question here is on the real sense, if they knew that Justice Crack would be arraigned today, as a lawyer, you should have made everything possible to be in the court because you are the lead person on this case. But I mean, the deal has been done. The guy is returned back to DSS. Hopefully by Monday he's out. I pity the wife, young couple, young lady with 2 young children, innocent family, just trying to do the best for the country. And now you had the husband put him in DSS detention for them no reason. Well, one day Nigeria will get better and then the country will be fixed. Let me just play this last video of this man that went to court about NDC. Let's see that video.
Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday dismissed a suit seeking to compel the Independent National Electoral Commission to register the All Democratic Alliance as a political party. Justice Emeka Nwite, in a judgment, held that the suit filed by promoters of the association was incompetent and unsupported by credible evidence. The plaintiffs, led by Umar Ardo, had sued INEC alongside Chief Akim Ricketts and Aminu Ahmed, seeking an order compelling the electoral body to register ADA as a political party. Joining us on the show to discuss the next line of action after the court dismissed his suit against INEC is Umar Ardo, promoter of the All Democratic Alliance. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the program.
Morning. Thank you very much.
Well, Dr. Ardo, you've been in the news, so it's a great thing that you are now here with us so that we can ask you some urgent issues. Now, with regard to ADA, the Court of Justice Emeka Nwite has dismissed your matter to say that it was procedurally flawed and it was incompetent in terms of its presentation. So what's next? Are you going to still go to the Court of Appeal, realizing that, all these things are time-bound? But the more important issue in which you have been involved is your fight against the Nigerian Democratic Congress. You were quoted as saying that even if everybody accepts the NDC, that you will, as one man, fight against it because it was not properly registered. Now, an allegation that the chairman of the party, the founder of the party, the leader of the party, countryman Siriake Dixon, has dismissed as totally irrelevant. Those two issues. Your party was next, and then your issue with NDC. Have you gone to court? Do you have any hope in stopping NDC?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abati. Actually, yesterday, the Federal High Court dismissed our case on the basis of a preliminary objection raised by those two guys who joined us, that we ought to have come through writ of summons and not through originating summons. Now, the preliminary objection was raised by the joiners. Now, they knew that we were there through originating summon, and they joined. So our lawyers did not see fit, to amend and then go through writ of summons. So, but you see, I'm not a lawyer, but the issue of preliminary objection is an issue of law. It's not an issue of facts. For me, I just provide the facts, and then it's the lawyers that will lawyer it. So if there is any problem, then it is from the lawyer's side. Now, we are going to collect the CTC of the judgment. We are going to look at it, and then we will look whether we need to test its veracity at the appeal court. Most likely, we are going to do so. I would like to finish what I start. I think we will go up to the Supreme Court, to resolve this matter. With regards to the time, as I told you on this matter before, we are not registering other simply because of 2027. There are going to be elections and more elections and more elections. We want an alternative that is the right alternative. And we believe that ADA is the right alternative, given even the way we try to register it. We bend backwards to fulfill each and every requirement of the Constitution, of the Electoral Act, and of the guidelines of INEC. We did. And the matter was not determined on its merits. It was determined on preliminary objection. And I want you to also understand that everything in life is in their dynamic opposites. Everything in life is in their dynamic opposites. If there is left, there is right. If there is up, there is down. If there is hot, there is cold. So whether it is natural or artificial, they have dynamic opposites. So if a court or if a judge wants to dismiss a matter, he will only look at the other side of that.
But this man, honestly, it surprised me. You said in life, everything has a dynamic opposite. NDC, ADA, Shena Ada Nabina Ada, because for Igbo land, Ada is the name of a first daughter. In Yoruba land, Ada means cutlass. But which one can be your own? Because now, you said everything in life operates based on, they have their dynamic opposite. But now you are in ADA fighting against NDC. I really don't understand. But let's continue to listen to what he's saying.
Dynamic, and then take that side. And I think that is what the Honorable Judge did yesterday.
Okay. I'd like to get a deeper understanding of your motives. Because, when you look at some of the statements from some of the leadership of ADA, it's interesting that ADA already seems to have factions without even being registered, because the National Publicity Secretary, some other leadership of the party have distanced themselves from your moves. They say they support NDC, that they are solidly behind a multi-party democracy and a strong opposition, and that maybe some of your grievances should be better taken up against INEC as opposed to a fellow opposition, member of the opposition. So what is your real motive in what you're doing? Because your party is not backing you.
You got it wrong. Actually, before our party made that press statement, we agreed in principle to make that statement in order to distinguish Dr. Umar Ardo and ADA. So, and since my opposition to the NDC, it is not on behalf of ADA. It is as a result of our effort to register the ADA that we got to know, personally I got to know that NDC did not participate in the registration process. NDC did not participate in the registration process. And let me explain.
Before you explain.
Oga, how did you know that NDC did not participate in the process? This is how people just busybody. I mean, we are looking for a better country. And just to be surprised, this man went to court as soon as Peter Gregory Obi moved to NDC. The enemies that Mr. Peter Obi is fighting against is so huge. Because in life, everything has their dynamic opposite. ADA is an opposite of NDC. So, Oga, how this matter take concern you that you have to go to court on somebody else's matter, all because of Mr. Peter Gregory Obi? Nigeria, we are in a big mess. Only God will help us. The younger generations are looking for a better life. Countries all over the world are working on AI, emerging health, cybersecurity. Life is being developed, science breaking everywhere. And then you are here, somebody is trying to work for the country. Mr. Peter Obi is basically just giving himself to work for the country. And as soon as he's joining one party, you guys go there, you want to destroy that party. This is evil. And I just pray that God help us, we get a better country. Let's listen some more.
Before you explain, sir, because before you explain, sir, let's read a portion of that statement. It says that for now, ADA has not been fully registered. As Democrats, we cannot be seen to be pulling down the only standing opposition house while we are still building our own. That sounds to be a divergence.
That statement there is very key. As opposition, we cannot stand to be pulling down the only viable opposition. Honestly, this man should have rethink. But you know, in Nigeria, people don't think. They only work for the money. Everybody has a price tag. But for how long will you do this? If you do this, is to which benefit? For your children or your children's children? The country is being destroyed, run aground every day. People are dying in their numbers. No food, no light, no road. The president keeps borrowing money. And like I said on Naija Watch Media, these guys, they basically borrow to steal, BTS. It is only in Nigeria that people borrow money that would have been used for the good of their country. They borrow it, steal it, and take the money to for their own family. But for how long are we going to continue to do this? The people are suffering. I mean, so just some days ago, we saw a young man that basically was holding a banner saying, "Mr. President, please give me a job. I'm 27, I don't have a job." And this guy has a PhD. He has a PhD. Let's listen some more.
With you going after NDC, which can be interpreted as pulling down another opposition party while you're trying to build your own.
Yeah, you see, the National Publicity Secretary made this statement based on what we agreed in principle, but we did not agree in the wordings. Now, when they published it, I looked at it, I said the wordings were certainly not, as we agreed, but no problem at that whatsoever. You see, he will make this statement because he doesn't know the facts. with regards to the NDC. And it is also factually not true to say that just because you oppose NDC, you are opposing all the opposition parties. There are 21 political parties in the country now registered, 21. And the only one that is governing is the APC. And the one that I am opposing is the NDC. There are 19 more opposition political parties. And so why I oppose NDC, and I need to explain that so that the castigation against me and then the misunderstanding by a lot of Nigerians may be assuaged. You see, before you register a political party, the steps are: 1, you form an association. So they form an association, National Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC. Then you will write a letter of intent to INEC and say to INEC that we have formed this association, desirous to be registered as a political party. This is the name of the association. This is the acronym of the association. And this is the logo of the association. Kindly open the portal for us so that we apply in the portal by filling form EC15A. This is the form that you must fill if you want to register you. Now,
But how did you know, Oga? How did you know that NDC did not pay, did not fill the form? Do you work for INEC? Because I mean, honestly, Nigeria, we have a long, long way to go. We have a long, long way to go. Nigeria, we have a long, long way to go. It is so painful, so sad that we have to deal with people like this in our country. And these are learned people, learned minds, intelligent brains, but because they are working for a paymaster, then once they start working for a Tinubu, they just become useless. Permit that word. They just become useless. Because how can this man speak this eloquent and be doing what he's doing? How did you know that NDC did not pay? How did you know that NDC did not fill the form and do all that they need to do? But you know what? All is just because of Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. And one prayer that I pray with all of this that's happening is that may our glory not be put under bushel, because anyway, anything Mr. Peter Gregory Obi touch becomes, anything he touches, it becomes a gold. So let's listen some more.
Now, NDC wrote to INEC this letter of intent. INEC then wrote back to NDC, said that, look, NDC, this your registration intent, we cannot continue with it because your logo is different, is similar to other political parties and political associations. Therefore, we cannot continue with you. Then the law says that if INEC writes you such a letter, within 14 days you should go to court. But NDC now wrote back to INEC and said, INEC, reconsider your position. INEC did not answer. After about a month or so, he wrote again. He said, we are giving you 1 month, 1 week to reconsider. INEC did not answer. And then NDC picked this letter and went to court. And with that letter, the court said NDC had fulfilled all the requirements of the Constitution, all the requirements of the Electoral Act, and all the guidelines, which is not true, because until you fill the form EC15, where 1, you upload the name of your party, 2, you upload its acronym, 3, you upload the logo, 4, you upload the Constitution, 5, you upload the manifesto, 6, you upload the executive members, national executive members. 7, you upload the fee. You have to even pay a fee and get the receipt for INEC to give you the code, the access code to access the portal. You have to upload it. You have to upload 29 documents for you to be attend that you have applied. NDC did not do that. NDC did not pay. NDC did not fill the
Oga, how did you know that NDC did not do all that you are talking about now? How did you know? Do you work for INEC? Nigeria.
that form. NDC did not do anything. NDC just took one letter to court and the court said, you have fulfilled everything. If NDC can mislead the court, if NDC can beguile the gullible Nigerians, NDC would not do that to INEC because INEC knows the truth. INEC knows that NDC did not apply. Once they come with that letter, with that judgment, INEC ought to have resisted and appeal.
Okay.
But INEC refused to appeal.
NDC is very bad. I mean, what they did...
INEC just said we will not appeal and we will give you certificate, and INEC went ahead to give you certificate. But the important thing...
Rufai is so sarcastic. He say, and this is bad, and this is bad. Well, let's hear what Rufai will say, because I think Rufai called him several times. Let's hear what Rufai will say.
No, is that NDC got this judgment on the 3rd of December, while the process was still going on. The visitation did not take place. The visitation took place on the 8th and 10th of December. 1 week after NDC had already gotten his judgment and is keeping it, with INEC. And INEC knew the judgment was there, but INEC kept quiet, NDC kept quiet until the whole process finished. And then in February, INEC announced that she's registering NDC on the basis of court judgment.
I mean, you have talked about the infraction. Mr. Ado, I have to come in here. Mr. Ado, I have to come in here.
Somebody got judgment with just one letter.
Mr. Ado, I have to come in here. Mr. Ado,
even if all Nigerians will accept that.
Rufai honestly met his match on this of calling him, and then the man was not answering.
I will not accept because it was received.
Mr. Ado, I have to come in here.
Not within the law.
Can you hear me? Please, I have to come in here. Yes, and this is bad, and this is this, and this is that. I mean, I totally get your point. I mean, you're irate. But I'd like to ask you, what's your business? Why don't you leave INEC to fight their fights? And secondly, why is it that it's after Obi joined the party, you started all of this? Yeah, why don't you leave INEC to fight their fight? Why is it that it's after Obi joined the party that you started this fight? Is it about Obi or about NDC? Because I'm like... Your party wasn't registered. Why don't you just leave them alone? Why don't you allow INEC do the fights? Is it about Obi?
A day after INEC announced NDC's registration, I was here on this your studio. I was opposing it on the 6th of February. So it is not about Obi. It is not at all whatsoever. What was my business with Obi? What's my business with Okonkwo? And when I had these facts, I communicated to, I don't have Obi's line to discuss with him directly, but I communicated to all those who have been close.
Now, see, he's going to say some things that you now know that this man is mischievous. Let's listen.
To Obi, telling them to tell him that if they are considering going to another political party, there are other political parties to go in, not NDC, because this is the problem NDC is facing. And I sat down with Okonkwo and I told him. And when I also called him a day or two before they move in, I also told him that these are the problems that this NDC is facing. But they refused, they went and entered. So the fact that they entered does not mean that it has changed the situation. The situation is as bad as it has always been.
Okay. Well,
so I have no motive whatsoever other than to stop, a national fraud on the country.
Okay.
You cannot come through this way and expect people to vote for you.
Sir, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. I don't think you got Rufai's question. Rufai is telling you that you are a busybody. Intervening in NDC.
Oh my God. About it got this man on this one. Busybody.
Even your own party, Ada, they have said you are on your own. So this looks like a busybody intervention. What do you stand to lose? If
You mean to tell me that what is affecting the country? What is affecting the country? I should keep quiet.
How do you incur damages? That's what a busybody action is.
Let me ask you. When in the tribunal, you know.
No, let's just say the guys in the studios are laughing. In the studio are laughing because this man just he looks. I don't know how to call him honestly. But this is so sad. This is so sad. This is the state of a country. Nigeria has a long way to go. Nigeria has a long way to go. Hopefully, someday we can have a better country. No Nigerian should be outside Nigeria at this time. No Nigerian should be living outside Nigeria at this time. And here's why. We have every natural resource that you can think about. We have gold in Zamfara. We have oil in South and then some part of Southwest. But today, only criminals benefit from the natural resources. Individuals now have oil block or oil well. They borrow money from World Bank, they steal the money. You see ex-governors riding Rolls Royce and holding private jets. I mean, in countries like America, for example, take Texas for a state, for example, Greg Abbott does not have a private jet, nor does he have a Rolls Royce. If he tried to do that, he's going to end up in jail. But in Nigeria, ex-governor, they have Rolls Royce, private jets, money laundered around all over the world, houses all over the world. And a former governor of a state, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, served the state, no pension, no gratuity, not even a bottle of water, save money for his state. And this man is saying, oh, give me 4 years and we can fix this country. And you now see some people fighting against him. It is so sad that we see elderly men disgracing themselves like this in the public. How much more do we want to see? When are we going to have a better country? The guys in the studio are literally laughing this man, just making fun of him because he only came to national TV to disgrace himself, Mr. Ado. You said it, that everything in life has their opposite direction. If you have a cold, you have a hot. If you have a up, you have a down. You have NDC, you have other. How does NDC matter concerns you? What a shameless man.
Sanction INEC's 2023 elections and then said that it was right. Didn't Nigerians complain? Didn't Nigerians say that INEC was wrong? Didn't Nigerians castigate the judiciary? It is the same thing. The judiciary has messed up and INEC refused to comply, refused to appeal to this, and INEC became complicit. So we have been accusing INEC of complicity in so many things. Why are we not going to accuse INEC on this complicity? You know, we cannot have double standard. We cannot pick and choose what to oppose and what to accept when we know what is wrong is wrong and what is right is right.
Thank you, sir.
I bet this man is Kenneth Okonkwo the second. Is Kenneth Okonkwo the second because the same way Kenneth is fooling himself, that's how this man also is fooling himself. I mean, Kenneth Okonkwo just had a media chat with Shimon Kimbaloye moment ago, where he's still very, very angry. Like if he sees something, if he buy Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, that's how irritated Kenneth Okonkwo is, because Mr. Peter Obi left ADC to NDC. This man, honestly, I just pray we have a better country someday. But let's watch to the end and see how this man just dance naked in the market.
Thank you, sir. When the matter goes to the court, it will be for the court to determine whether it's a busybody intervention.
Bimbai, let me see Rufai and Bimbai's reaction again. Bimbai and Rufai's Bimbai could not hold it. Let's just.
That goes to the court. It will be for the court to determine whether it's a busybody intervention or not.
Well, guys, thank you very much for listening in. This is basically a new channel, and so we encourage you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's just basically doing one's bit just to see that we have a better country. It's not to compete with anybody or to struggle with anybody. We're just here doing our own best for the country. We still have a very, very long way to go. In the coming election, I only just pray that NDC will do what is right. They will dot the I's and cross the T, do everything that they need to do in the election, because lives is at stake. A lot of people are dying. I mean, Mr. Peter Obi just said in his interview that we watched earlier with Mr. K, infant mortality rate is on the increase. People are dying in their numbers. Unemployment is skyrocketing. And like I said earlier, no Nigerian should be outside Nigeria today. Most people are suffering in the US, suffering in Canada, suffering in London, suffering in United Kingdom, suffering in China, Russia, all over the world. We have the best of brains, but because of bad leaders. So help us share this video, take our voices far, let the whole world see what we are doing. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. We'll do our own best to see that we are able to bring videos here and then make comments. And if you like to be in the studio, we will give you the link to come in and just speak to Nigerians. Thank you very much, everyone. We hope to cross your path again. We'll probably upload the video of Kenneth Okonkwo so that Nigerians can watch and see how he keeps disgracing himself. And for Justice Crack, hopefully Professor Sam Amadi and others can get themselves together and ensure that justice is released. Not just for releasing sake, because this young man has to go to the hospital and get himself checked up. Justice Crack cannot be allowed to remain in DSS custody for a very long time. He has a family to take care of, he has bills to pay, and hopefully everything about him can be sorted out. His vehicle returned back to him, and he will get back to business like he's been doing before. And Nigerian army should know that you cannot silence the voice of Nigerians. You can never, ever silence the voice of Nigerians. And so if you think that arresting Justice Crack will probably get other people to keep quiet, and people will just keep quiet and they won't do anything about their country, you are only deceiving yourself. Just do what is right for the country and let the people feel the effect of good governance. Because what Justice Crack was fighting for, or what he did, is to bring to light what Nigerian army are being fed with. And so how that becomes a problem, I really don't understand, because I think that what the Nigerian army should have done is, oh, you young man, you're doing this. Well, if you feel that the video, maybe there are some things that are not right about the video, you'd have just call him in and just interrogate him. Okay, come, friend, let's share more light on this situation. But instead, you guys went ahead, adopted him, put him in prison, and the young man is just there. How long are we going to do this? How long are we going to continue like this as a country? People are dying every day. People are dying. Let's just there's a video here I would like to show about the U.S. Army. Let's see this video. Let's see.
We didn't miss you see. No, another person. Talk say. What's in there? Poison. You know I'm there. What's going on there? I'm busy. I'm operation right now. Surgical.
Nah, I'm a
no,
yes.
David, you did keep something.
These are Nigerian guys serving in the U.S. Army. You can see what they are eating. Seafood. 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 And in Nigeria, our armies are being served dog food. See what these guys are eating. Well, hopefully we will get a better country someday. Until we come around again, guys, please like and share, subscribe, and we hope to come your way again. Do have a blessed night, blessed morning, blessed evening, blessed afternoon, wherever you're watching from all over the world. Hopefully we have a better country now in our lifetime. And I pray that Mr. Peter Gregory Obi becomes the president of the country. Thank you very much. Have a blessed night. Bye for now.